Hello again. Let's go ahead with the command line argument passing. In this example, I'm going to develop a command that's going to add up some values passed from the command prompt and display the result back to the console. So the command is going to be something like this. Say I want to add some value, so I will use this command, and with the command it's possible to pass some values to the program as command line arguments, and on pressing return key the values are going to be added up and displayed back here in the console. And one more thing, if I just type the command /add and then press enter, it should display some sort of error message. You must be aware of this. Say I am using the copy command in order to copy a file to another, then the syntax of the command is cp, that's the command, and then we need to supply the source file to the destination file. So the copy command is a C program that is written there in the system, and it takes these values as command line argument. This parameter a.c actually is received by this cp in argv1, and this b.c is received there in argv2. So there are plenty of examples where the options with the commands are received through the command line arguments. Whenever we use commands in terminal, they actually receives the command line arguments in order to work with. So now we are just going to do something like that. We are going to develop a command add for adding some double values or real numbers. So in that case, the parameters are going to be received here. As you know that this argv is going to receive the parameters, and this is the count of the parameters. So first of all, we need to check whether the sufficient number of arguments are passed on or not. That means if someone just writes this and press enter, it should display some sort of error message. As you know that if you just type cp and press enter, it's going to display some usage message to you without copying the file practically, because we have not supplied any file to copy. So this kind of activity should be actually reflected by our program as well. So argc, if that is equals to 1, that means only the command is supplied, nothing else. So in that case, it should display some sort of error message, and the program should terminate there. And then I'm returning to the operating system by terminating this program. I'm writing this program in a simple text editor. You can write it anywhere according to your convenience. Okay, and I have saved this file here in C code folder under my home directory, and the name of the file is add.c. So if the arguments are passed, more than one arguments are passed to the program, then we need to add them. So I'm taking a variable sum. It should be double because we are supposed to add real numbers. And initially I'm having 0 with the sum variable, and we need a counter for the for loop. Okay, now we are starting the iteration. Now it should be from the second parameter, because the first parameter is the command itself. So that's not the number. So up to argc less than argc we should iterate, and each time we should add the value at argv. Now sum equals to sum plus argv I is going to be error, because this argv I is the address to the array that contains the actual parameter. So this is a string, basically the name of the character array, that's the pointer to the base address, that's the pointer to the array that contains the value. So it should be converted to double value, and for that there is a function atof. This atof function is a library function. The purpose of the atof function is to convert a string to floating point or real number, and there are other two variations of this. One is atol, that converts a string to long, and atoi, that converts a string to integer. So since we want it to be in double, so atof is the function of our choice here, and for atof we need to include stdlib. So now what is happening here, we are converting each parameter to double and adding it up with the sum variable, and then finally after coming out of the for loop, I'm printing the result back to the console. So we are done. Now let me just go ahead and compile this. GCC, I'm in the same folder, C code. You can see that here where the file add.c is there. You can see that add.c is available here. So I'm compiling GCC -o. I want a different name for this compiled file. If I do not mention anything, the compiled file is going to be a.out, but I want it to be add. So -o is the option for providing the name for the object file, and then add.c, that's the source file. I'm pressing enter. You can see that it's done, and here is the add object file. That's our command, and we can use that for adding values. Now I'm running the program and passing some values, say 34.5 and 10.5. You can see that it's displaying the result. So we have developed a command and something like this. And if I just supply nothing, that means if I do not supply any parameter, it is saying that insufficient parameters here. So we have just developed a command for our terminal that's going to add up any number of values that we pass from the command prompt. So that's how we can use the command line arguments in our program to receive parameters from command prompt. Hope that you have enjoyed this. Thank you.